Exciting, great news to start your Friday morning. Boy, it's the bottom of the hour. Early morning's LALATE at the 6:30 edition. And boy, multiple stimulus checks, yes. Hazard pay, yes. Social Security beneficiaries, $200 a month until the December 31st, yes. An increase in the Social Security lifetime up to 20%, yes. A new benchmark for Social Security that would tag it to something other than COLA and give you more increases on a regular basis, yes. Extension of FPUC and PUA, oh yeah, we're doing that as well. It's a great morning, and these are all the things that the Joe Biden transition team want, and this is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm so excited for you. As Joe Biden's transition team is pushing like we're pushing to get the stimulus out, hazard pay, FPUC, and all this incredible relief for SSDI, SSI, and Social Security beneficiaries. I'm so excited for you. It's a Friday morning. You've reached into the weekends. This is the 6:30 edition. If you missed the 6 o'clock edition, there's a link in the sticky comment to watch that video. But this one, if you're watching at 6:30, is a live taping. An instant premiere. If you haven't subscribed, please go to the front channel, subscribe, because we can get through this pandemic together. I'm going live, I'm going taped. Last night on Purple Power Live was a lot of fun. Had people internationally, Virgin Islands, Mexico, Philippines. So it was a lot of fun. Everyone from all different parts of the country. Also like this video. It's really helping the video appears higher in the rankings. Early Mornings LA always ranks number 1 or 2 or 3, so keep it up. In this video, I'll be going over what that Social Security plan could mean for you. Then I'll be going over the idea of being prepaid stimulus before you go on lockdown. That's a good idea. Then the question about hazard pay. How do you apply for it? What are the amounts? And a little bit more of that. All right, let's get... Oh, I forgot. Before we do that, this is an instant premiere. Sorry, jinx. This is an instant premiere. If you're just joining this channel, every early morning to LA is an instant premiere if you're watching at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so you can chat on the right with your Purple Power buddies, chat about stimulus, and chat about anything you want to chat about. And it's a great community because it's like a family. It's like an early morning breakfast at the local diner. You recognize your friends, say, hey, what's going on? Good morning. You see them on a regular basis. There's a regular group of people who tune into Early Mornings LA every day because it's just lighthearted, easy breezy, and we have a lot of fun here. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you start here today is that Joe Biden's chief transition person for COVID says one of the things we could do is pay all the stimulus up front before we go into lockdown. Now, he's referring to third stimulus. He's not referring to second stimulus, so that's why I educated you about second stimulus versus third stimulus. Second stimulus is everything you're owed from May to the present. You're still owed that. You're going to get paid that. Don't worry. But what he's talking about is lockdown stimulus, which is going that way into the future, or third stimulus. And he's basically saying, hey, if you go on a lockdown, we can pay you first, and you'll all be ready to go on lockdown. We'll reemerge in 6 weeks, and the virus will have flattened. We will have flattened the curve of the virus. This is incredible, great news because, hey, you want to flatten the curve. You don't want it to keep on going up. And the curve is going up. It's going up 10,000 cases a day. We're at 145. I mean, we're at 70,000 just a few weeks ago nationally. So what he says is we could pay for a stimulus package right now to cover for all the wages, loss of wages, individual workers, or loss of small companies to medium-sized companies, city, state, county, and governments. We could do that for all of that. If we did that, then we could go on lockdown for 4 to 6 weeks. So he's basically saying we can send out stimulus, we can send out unemployment benefits, we can send out hazard pay, we can send out all these things and then go on lockdown for 4 to 6 weeks. You'd have the money ahead of time. We can afford it. And then after 6 weeks, the virus will have flattened and we can reemerge and we'd be in a good situation. Finally, something that makes some darn sense here, as opposed to these other people like lockdown and then just send me a bill and I'll figure out if I want to pay it or not. No, no, he says people don't want to hear that El Paso is an isolated event. El Paso, in many instances, may be the norm. He's referring to a very big spike area, and I think the message is, how do we get through this? We need an FDR moments right now. We need fireside chats. We need someone to tell this is what in the hell is going to happen. And what's important to understand is that lockdowns are coming, whether it's a curfew or a lockdown, whether it's Chicago or Indianapolis, things are happening. And you also need hazard pay. You need stimulus checks for everything back paid all the way to present. You need stimulus checks if you're going on lockdown, and you're owed stimulus checks. They want to give you stimulus checks. The question is how much. And this is what Purple Power has to do very, very loudly. The Follows the Channel I affectionately call Purple Power. And you need to be on social media and be pushing the different pyramids of information, which are pushing for stimulus checks, pushing for unemployment, and pushing for hazard pay. Hashtag Purple Power check. You need to be on social media making very clear, hey, there's that CARES Act 1 money that's sitting around. You can repurpose it, send it out as a stimulus check, and that would get it done. We wouldn't have a hit against the national debt. You'd repurpose existing money, and you could reduce the second stimulus package bill because you wouldn't need that money, any of that money, for stimulus checks. It could be the repurposed CARES Act 1 money. That's incredibly important. You need to get that message out to Mitch and all the senators on their social media platforms. Then you have hashtag Purple Power FPUC. You know, FPUC has expired. Now PUA is expiring in December. FPEC is expiring in December. What's going on here, folks? All these things are expiring. You need to be very loud and clear. Don't let things expire. You need to extend them, and you need to extend them right away. Finally, hazard pay, and that's what I get to next. Hashtag Purple Power hazard pay. Joe wants to give you hazard pay. He said it during the transition statements this weekend. He said it during the campaign. He'll say it again. Dr. Jill Biden wants you to have hazard pay. She wants teachers to have hazard pay. She wants everyone to have hazard pay. So don't think that it's going to disappear again. It ain't going to happen. So you need to be part of the discussion to ensure that hazard pay covers enough people, ensures that you get it, and that you're the applicant, not the employer. More about that in a second. And that the amount is correct. The big issues with hazard pay are, first, the period of eligibility. Currently, it's January until 60 days after the pandemic ends. That's perfect. There's nothing you need to change from there. January this year, all the way to 60 days after the pandemic ends. All right, that's all fine. Then the amount per week. Well, I mean, it's just get it done, Joe and Mitch. Mitch wants something like, I don't know, 300. Joe wants 600. Just get it done, 400, and we're done. We call it a day. But the big issue is the application. As one of the viewers sort of jumped in the comments and repeated what I've said on camera every single day at 5 o'clock for 4 months, the way it's written in the past made no sense. The employer may apply, does not have to apply. If they don't apply, there's nothing you can do about it. What are you talking about? Why do we spend so much time focusing on hazard pay if it becomes discretionary and the employer doesn't apply for you? Then what? And so here's the categories of people that qualify for hazard pay. If you want some more information about hazard pay, tune into Purple Power Live every night at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live. We talk about hazard pay. We talk about check, but we also talk about who's essential and who's not under the hazard pay provisions. Here is a guideline for it. First responders, healthcare, groceries, restaurants, food production, transportation, warehouses, cleaning and maintenance, waste disposal, news media, government employees deemed essential as education, laundry, elections, hazardous materials, disinfecting services, clinical research for COVID, mortuary services, physical therapy, dentistry, U.S. Postal Service, and using facilities for containment and mitigation. That is how it was originally delineated in the bill. And what I said in Purple Power Live last night is that there's really an effort to expand the conditions, expand the eligibility. And so you have to stay on high alert, because ultimately, if it's a no now, it might be a yes later. The Department of Homeland Security has suggested that other essential areas of work may include commerce, communication, information technology, critical manufacturing, financial services, chemical, defense industrial base, commercial facilities, residential shelter facilities, and services in hygiene products and services. Wow. So this is incredible, great news. Hazard pay, the message you have to get very out loud and clear to Mitch, who wants to pay hazard pay, just not a lot of it, and Joe, who of course wants to pay it. So what's the problem? The problem is that not the hourly calculation, but the number of hours. $13 an hour, I don't think anyone has a problem with $13 an hour. I don't think anyone has a problem with the classifications. I think the problem is the total amount. Joe's calculation would bring it to about $10,000. I don't see Mitch agreeing to $10,000 a person. Five, sure. And so what's important to see is that Mitch wants to do a package, just not something out crazy land of massive amount of numbers. I'm not saying $10,000 is crazy, but it's large. Mitch has said, I gather the Democratic leader in the Senate are looking to see something dramatically larger. That's not a place where I'm willing to go. I think we need to do another package. Hopefully can get past the impasse we've had for 4 to 6 months and get something serious that's more appropriate. What's important to understand is that there's so much that has to be done, and Joe Biden has made it very clear. If I don't get done one bill, I'm going to do another bill. I'll just keep on doing bills until I'm blue in the face. And Joe was also saying, I'm not stopping giving stimulus relief until we're out of this pandemic. So don't think this is the last and final time you're getting stimulus relief, which is really refreshing because that's what Mitch had originally said to us. Oh, one bill and this is your final shot. Now, it's important for Purple Power to remain focused and remain on point because there is a lot of bad oxygen out there. There's a lot of fake narratives. And yesterday, everyone was involved in the fake narrative. Mitch, Nance, Chuck, everyone had a fake narrative. I'm not going to go over their statements, and I did sort of read a little bit of Mitch's just then, which is a little fake. But what I'll say is that Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell, the chief negotiators. Joe Biden is the chief negotiators for the Democrats. He can pick up the phone and call Mitch McConnell at any time. He's a person with a telephone. He can call him up at any time. Mitch McConnell is the chief negotiator for the Republicans. Gone is Nance and gone is Mnuchin. They are no longer in the picture. She wants to look like she's in the picture because she wants book deals. She wants TV appearances. She wants to be a personality, a celebrity. And, it's sad, but that's not, she's pushing something that's no longer even the bill of choice by the number one Democrat in the country, Joe Biden. That's not his bill. So she's literally talking about something that's not his, which is a little but it's important to understand that people will see comments from Mitch, see comments from Nance, and still get wound up about them. And those are probably newer viewers or newer subscribers who I've told you for a long time. You hear something, I want you to brush it off. She rejected it. Who cares she rejected it? He says he's not going to give anything unless. Mitch McConnell has a way of artfully trying to twist you into thinking he's never going to give you anything so that ultimately you think you're not going to get anything. How does that work? I'm not going to give you anything. Oh, Mitch's not going to give us anything. Okay, we're not going to get anything. And that's his game. And so don't subscribe to that game. Don't play into that motif. And her motif is she's in charge, which she's not anymore. So what's important for you to do is not focus on that. Focus on you. The stimulus checks that need to be sent out right away, the FPUC, the hazard pay, and the unemployment benefits, all these need to go out. It's so important and so critically necessary. And so finally, with that, make sure you go on social media. Hashtag Purple Power check. Hashtag Purple Power hazard pay. Hashtag Purple Power FPUC. Push, push, push. Hashtag MSC. Make it very loud and clear. Make it very loud and clear. Professional, do the push. You hear the substance. You understand the substance. Now express the substance to other people. Going on the channel here and saying, we need it right now. You're telling me, I know that. You know that. All the other viewers of this channel know that. So don't tell us that. Tell Twitter that. Tell your senators and congressmen that. And I appreciate everyone that jumps in the comments and says, I need it right now. It needs to come right now. We all agree to that. But the point is, you have to spend the keyboard time typing those comments to your elected officials so that they get that message, because ultimately they're focused on a lot of other things, and a lot of them are the lobbyists that are trying to get monies for industries, corporations, walks of life that aren't you and me. And so you need to push, and get to the finish line. And we will. Go to the Friends channel, subscribe. We're getting to the end and we're almost there. Also, like this video. Coming up at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is Morning to LA. Stay focused, stay smiling, and stay in LA for more.